Hello again, witchy people. I am back with another letter from my YouTube Pagan Challenge 2018. Oh, excuse me. I do know I'm racing ahead with this, and I do apologise, but I do have a good reason. Any time within the next couple of months, I'm going to have the builders come in to do quite a lot of work on my house. And during that time, I won't be able to record anything, and this may go on for several months. And so I thought if I did a few extra ahead of time, by the time the builders have come in and finished, everyone else will have caught up and I'll be back on track again. So just a quick explanation. You may notice, if I turn my chair slightly, there is no books on my windowsills and no herb table around here. It's all gone. Not gone, it's downstairs. I've done a little bit of zhuzhing around and I will show you that. I will get that sorted and I'll take my camera downstairs and just show you that I can be neat and tidy, sort of. But back to the YouTube Pagan Challenge and the letter I. This was going to be quite a difficult one, I think, for a lot of people, because there isn't a lot that's going, that you can use for inspiration. For the letter I. Unless you work with deities or, there isn't going to be a lot for the letter I. Incense, probably, maybe. And I'm going to pick intent. And usually when I do these videos, they are completely off the cuff. They are on the fly. There's no notes taken. I just sit down, camera goes on. Sometimes the microphone goes on when I remember. And whatever, is in my head and out my mouth tends to stay. I've done this slightly differently because I think intent is quite, it's a difficult thing to explain fully. And I think it may mean slightly different things to different people. Now, obviously, intent is partially the purpose. It's your purpose. And I guess for a lot of people, intent would be whether your intent is good or maybe not so good. But I do think it's more than that. I tend to think of intent as being the key that fits the lock. The lock is visualization or focus, which opens the door, which is magic. And once that door is open, the possibilities are quite endless. They're boundless. So, like I said, I don't usually take notes or anything. Last night I thought I'm going to do this video today. When I got back from visiting my sister from another mister. Hi, Lizzie. She's dressing my miniatures for me. I'm so excited. She's gifted. This woman is gifted. Anyway, I'm going off point. And I thought, I know I'm going to do this video today, and I wanted to remember some of the things that I come up in my head, because I didn't really have time to record it when I thought about it yesterday. So I thought I'll jot down a few notes and see how it goes. The problem being is, when I say I jotted down my notes, I wrote them down and they're in front of me now, and it's kind of I can see the word inner and power somewhere up there. It's a bit of a scrawl. I should have been a doctor, because that is pretty illegible. But I'm going to try and make some head or tails of it, some sense of it. So, intent. It's not just the desire to be, of whether your spell workings is going to be for the good of something or for the bad of something. And of course, bad doesn't necessarily mean, same as binding magic, it doesn't necessarily mean evil. It just, negative magic isn't evil magic. It's just moulding that power differently for different aims. So negative magic would be binding. That's one example of negative magic. So if you wanted to say give up smoking, you would use a negative magical working for that. At least that's the way I would do it. Anyway, I'm going off point again. Intent, it's the ability to focus on what you really, really want. But more than that, it's what you need. And you have to be ready and prepared for the fact that just because you want something doesn't necessarily mean the universe is going to give it to you. It's going to have to be something that you need, and you may not know you need it. Just the way, you know, the whole universe works. It likes to screw with our heads slightly. So the intent is, first of all, you have to understand the difference between wanting something and needing something. I do think, though, for the most part, I mean, being a witch, if you want something, I'm going off point again. Okay. If you really, really want something, you have to focus. And with that focus, the intent is the focus and the want and the need. That's the intent. And the intent is being able to draw that power from around you and within you and focus it all completely on your goal. That's the intent. That is intent for me. Like I said, it's really hard to explain. And I've been rambling on about this for so long and I'm still not making much sense to me. Back to my notes. What did I write? The ability to focus on what we want or need for a magical working. It is the power to use the forces around us for a purpose or a goal. I was kind of making sense when I wrote this. Didn't write it very neatly, but I was kind of making sense. Okay, oh, that's quite a good one. Intent is your inner desires made true with using the power that we draw from within, but also whether that power is based on an expression of using a positive or a negative. There, okay? You also have to bear in mind the way the universe works, once again, you know, what you want and what you need is, to me, the laws of the universe said that, you know, if you want to gain something from one hand, you have to give something from the other. You know, there is give and take, that you have to have balance. And when you have your intent, you have to keep that in mind. You have to bear in mind that when you gain from something, you have to give something as well. That's the only way I can explain it. Like I said, intent for me, even though it's an important part, it's also really difficult to explain. It's not so easily explained as intent is just the will to do something. There's more to it than that. And that's about as far as I'm going to go with this, because I have rambled on and I am just getting myself cuckooed in my head. So I'm going to finish my coffee, because I need coffee. And I am going to finish tidying up. And I'm going to get a video ready for to record all the changes that I've made, not in this room, but in sorting out everything downstairs. I actually have pretty much brung all my books back inside now, so a lot of my books are now indoors. My herbs are pretty much sorted and we can go from there. I'm going to shut up now. Thanks for watching, people, and I hope you understood that more than I did myself. Bye for now, witchy people. Have fun.